Latest intel reports Covenant troops are massing beneath the carrier.
They're pulling back? Why?
Not gonna find out way up here.
Troopers! We are green and very, very mean! I take it back. Navy got its butt kicked. Hey, Romeo. Remember when I told you to shut your mouth? Yeah? Consider that a standing order. Captain, 15 clicks off the deck.
Stand by to adjust trajectory. On my mark.
What'd she just say?
Mark!
We're way off course.
We're heading exactly where I need to go.
But we're gonna miss the carrier. Radiation! Covenant just set off a nuke?
No, the carrier's going to jump. It's a slip-space rupture. You need to...
EMP, losing power. They popped their chutes. We're going in hard.
Welcome everybody, Josh here, back again today with a brand new and special product review. Today we're going to be talking about this, which is Halo 3 ODST on the original Xbox 360, as well as the Xbox Series S and X through backwards compatibility. Now, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the Halo franchise. I've been playing these games ever since the original Halo released on Halo CE with the original Xbox, then eventually getting my own Xbox and playing Halo 2 through the campaign, as well as eventually getting a copy of Halo CE myself. I think that this game is fantastic in a lot of respects because this is a spin-off game that takes place right after the events in Halo 2 and also introduces us to characters that we'll get to experience in later Halo games, and it takes place during the events of Halo 3, obviously due to the title of the video game. And this is a spin-off game made by Bungie Studios. Now, Bungie at this time were at their peak in terms of what they're creating in terms of video game franchises, especially with the Halo universe. This was just another piece to the puzzle of what Halo was to become. Even though this game was a little bit shorter due to some of the other games like Halo CE, Halo 2, even Halo Reach is a little bit longer in terms of the context of its story, I still think that this game packs a punch. And I think that with Halo 3 ODST, you are no longer playing as a Spartan, you're actually playing as an ODST trooper. The ODSTs are orbital drop shock troopers, and they're stuck behind enemy lines in most cases in the Halo universe, and they take out the enemy and eventually destroy the enemy forces, which in this case is the Covenant. And the ODSTs in this game are a little bit weaker compared to the Spartans, especially the Spartan 2 program, which is designed by Catherine Halsey. And I think that this elevates the status of making this game feel a little bit more horrific in terms of the scale of the universe. Now, the Halo universe itself has always been a little bit more of a positive, uplifting universe. It's definitely a comfort food for me as someone who's been playing this game since the beginning, but I think that this game elevates that horror stature to it due to the darker tone of the whole area of the environment they're exploring with New Mombasa. New Mombasa in this game is actually pretty big in terms of the scale of the map, but it is confined to that of a single city. You don't actually get to explore any planets, you don't get to explore the Halo ring. You're stuck on this planet as you're trying to hunt down your team members, which consist of Buck, who is played by voice actor Nathan Fillion, as well as the other members of your team. And I think that getting to know these people at the beginning of the game with that drop sequence, where it can show the destruction, and then eventually leading you to crash land planet Earth and having to uncover what happened to your crew along the way, is a really interesting take. It's the take of a detective story, which this game is definitely going for in terms of what they're dealing with in the story, and uncovering the past of the characters as well along the way. And I think that Buck, played by Nathan Fillion, does a really good job. I think that he is always amazing, whether he's in film or video games, and I think that having actors as the talents in your video games is really great, and it's something that a lot of these video game franchises like Call of Duty and some of the other modern day FPS titles copied, as well as getting really great screen presence and bringing them into the fold in terms of a video game universe. And I think that Halo 3 ODST is definitely no exception. There's characters that come back to the fray that you'll get to see in later stages of the game, and there's characters introduced that you actually grow to care about along the way. And I think that Buck's team is pretty awesome in terms of how they're able to kill the Covenant. I think that getting to experience this new stage of the Halo universe with a different team is also pretty cool. You're no longer playing as Master Chief or Sergeant Johnson or any of the other members of the Pillar of Autumn, these Master Chief's typical crew they rolls with in the Halo universe. And I think that Halo 3 ODST has a new element to this where you're no longer having regenerative health. You're actually having these health packs that are strewn across the map's landscape, and you have to hunt down and find these health packs in order to regenerate your health. And I think that having that ability actually adds to the horrific nature of this, because you're no longer hiding behind cover like you typically do in an FPS game like Call of Duty or Halo. You're actually trying to go out of your way to find different health packs on the map. You're trying to locate your squad. You're trying to link up with other units in this hellish landscape, which the Halo universe definitely definitely is, and then you're trying to fight the Covenant along the way. And there's a lot of really cool returning characters that do show up in terms of the Covenant. The Covenant consists of the Brutes, which is basically taken over from the events of Halo 2, where they had the changing of the guard. You also have the Grunts, who are working with the Brutes this time. You also have the Buggers in this game, which is pretty cool to see them reappear, even though they're terrifying to deal with in terms of the context of Halo 3 ODST story, as well as the other games that they do appear in. You do get classic Halo weapons, such as the shotgun. You get the typical pistol for the human weapons. You also get the SMGs back in this game, which they didn't appear in later Halo games for whatever reason. And you also get the M85E, and that's the typical classic weapon systems that you should get to choose from in Halo 3 ODST, which is pretty cool. You also get the minigun in this game, which you can rip off the turret and use to fight the Covenant forces as well. You also get the Covenant weapons in this game, which consist of the Brute Shot. You also get the Brute, plasma weapons and Brute Spikes, as well as the plasma pistols that do show up. There isn't really energy swords in this game per se, but you do get your fuel rod cannon, which the Grunts do typically like to use in Halo 3 ODST. And I think that having some of these recognizable Halo weapons that do show up in this game is really cool because it elevates the gameplay mechanics of this game. You get used to using these weapons. The one thing I really didn't like about Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST is the fact that they took away dual wielding. I think that having the ability to dual wield the weapons, whether that's the SMGs or the pistols or the plasma rifles or even the plasma pistols for that matter, was a really cool game changer that Halo 2 had in terms of the context of its sandbox that other first-person shooters didn't at the time. I think that taking it away was something that really does hold this game back from being really fun, even though it's a lot of fun to play in terms of the context of the story. It's just a little bit jarring as someone who's been a huge Halo fan since the beginning to get Halo 2's dual wielding weapons and then have them taken away in Halo 3 and Halo 3 ODST. I do understand why they did that for this story, because you're trying to relate to these characters. They're not all powerful, and I think that had they done that route, it would have added a little bit more of an OP style of gameplay to the ODSTs that they otherwise wouldn't. I think that having a weaker character that you're trying to help survive this difficult situation, trying to link up with your squadron or defeat the Covenant once again, was something that really does hit home, because now you're not all powerful, you're not Master Chief, you're not taking down the Covenant in terms of the size and scope of the gameplay area of the world that you're able to explore in this game. You're actually forced to take cover, you're forced to use your environment to your advantage and the different weapons at your disposal, otherwise you aren't going to make it out of this situation alive. I think that that adds to the element of horror that is featured within the Halo franchise itself, and so I think that as a gamer, I really do like the fact that you are playing as an ODST. I think that the humor in this game is definitely there at times, and this game definitely does take itself seriously as well, and I think that having contrast between the humor of the story and situations that you find yourself in, and the fact that you are trapped in this city that's being invaded by the Covenant who wants to wipe out humans as it stands. So this is taking part in the era of the Halo universe where they're still going through the great journey. They're trying to light all the Halo rings to wipe out the Flood as well as humans as well. And I think that having that faction of the Covenant that still believes in that whole storyline of the great journey is a really idea to kind of have sort of a video game franchise, and whether they're right or wrong for doing it, because the Flood is taken over. You don't get to see the Flood in this game at all per se, but still a constant threat within the Halo universe. And I think that having that element to it is really cool to see, especially in the video game itself, and what these ODSTs are dealing with. And you really don't get to explore the ODSTs that much in Master Chief's own storyline in the Halo universe, but getting to explore them in this game is pretty cool. And so the graphics in this game do look pretty ancient. I would have to say that these graphics are something that needs to be updated and have an anniversary edition put out. I know that Halo has had some anniversary editions in the past. They've always had a graphical component to it, whereas this game, while it does not have that anniversary edition, I still think that if you have Halo, the Master Chief Collection, you're trying to play this game for the very first time, this game still looks good even on modern day consoles. This game is backwards compatible on the Xbox Series S and X. It was originally made for the Xbox 360 back in the day, so I think that getting to experience this game with a fresh lens, because I actually didn't get to play this game when it originally released. I played it later on my Xbox One when I got the Master Chief Collection and got to run through that game for the first time, and I really love this game as well, just because the story of this game is amazing. I think that everybody in terms of the cast, the crew that kind of made this game, did a fantastic job of portraying the characters that they were portraying this game, as well as the game devs for making this game. Even though it's a shorter game in the Halo franchise, I still think this game packs a punch, and so you can get through this game in 6 to 8 hours. I think this is a relatively short Halo game, and I can get through most of the games in the Halo franchise now in a day, just because of the fact that I've been playing these games ever since I was a kid. But I think that this is one of those games that if you spend even a little bit of time, you can actually beat this almost in a day. And I think that by the time I'm actually doing this review, I'll have beaten this entire storyline. And I think that if you're a Halo fan, you should definitely check this out, because there's a lot to explore. There's even a really cool mission where you actually get to pilot a Warthog. You get to take your team down through some of the desert area that you see in New Mombasa in Halo 3. And it's a really cool sequence. There's a lot of wraiths that attack you. There's banshees. There's even ghosts that come after you. And it's a really cool, fun sequence to get to explore as a Halo fan. And getting to see some of these cool vehicles and gear and equipment that you get to use to your advantage to take out the Covenant is pretty cool. I think that one of the things I really don't like about the Halo universe, though, is the fact that they do take things away from you, like the dual wielding. the fact that there are some enemies that are really hard to fight, especially in this game with the hunters. The hunters you have to take down using any weapon at your disposal and shooting at the orange parts of their skin. And then once you're able to do that multiple times, you're able to take them down. But what's difficult about the hunters is the fact that there's actually 2 of them in all the Halo games. So if you take down one, the other one goes berserk and tries to kill you with the field rod cannon that it does have. And so that's a different added element to it that actually makes it more difficult with the fact that you only have health packs this time. So you can't go rushing into combat like you would Master Chief or any of the characters. One of the things I really don't like is the fact that there aren't enough of the returning characters appearing in this game, whether that's Master Chief or Cortana. You don't even get to see Cortana in this game, but that sense due to the area of the game that you're exploring, you don't even get Sergeant Johnson in this game either. And I think that's a little bit disappointing that you don't get to see anybody from the previous Halo franchise that you grew to know and love over the time not show up in this game. But I don't think it really needs to elevate this game to the status that it was when it was originally released. And I think that when this game came out, it was one of the top selling games of the Xbox at the time, which this does have multiplayer added to it. It is a part of the Halo 3 storyline, so that is the multiplayer side to it as well. So I think that with package that it has now, with it being included in the Master Chief collection and actually being $5 if you want to buy the copy of it on Xbox 360, I think that you can't go wrong. I think this is a solid game, a solid experience with some minor graphical issues and some minor gameplay issues that do show up from time to time, but it's not enough to ruin the experience of the game itself. So as someone who's a huge Halo fan, as someone who loves this universe, who's inspired to tell stories, and my screenplays that I do right, and the fact that I am a storyteller in this game franchise has been with me since the very beginning, I definitely think this is a game that you should play, especially if you played all the games in the franchise from Halo CE to Halo Reach. I definitely think you should check this out and play it for yourself. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of Halo 3 ODST, which game in the Halo universe is your favorite, which game is your least favorite in the franchise. I still have to review Halo 5, I still have to review all the Halo Wars games, but those will be reviews for a different time. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of the Master Chief collection. Like I said before, which game is your favorite in the Master Chief collection, and as always guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Clear?
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, rookie, you out there? Respond, that's an order.
Give it up, Gunny. Even if he ain't dead, he's lost in that soup. Our comms can't cut through that.
I'll give up, huh? What if it were you down there?
Just saying. I ain't dead.
You're a piece of work, Romeo.
Welcome aboard, ladies. First stop, anywhere but here.
Banshees, on your 6! Hit the deck!
We're losing her. Watch out!
Ah! Mickey, Dutch! Status! Alive or dead, we're pulling them out. You hear me? Make some noise. I got your back.